I'm Anil Kumar, and here is question number 7, an application question from Polynomial Equations and Inequalities, Test 2015, Unit 4. Subject is MHF4U, Advanced Functions. Now let's look into this particular question in details. The question is, Tyler and Kim are competing in a model airplane competition. The position of the planes are determined in relation to the top of a 10-meter pole. Planes to the left and below the top of the pole are given negative x and y values, and the planes to the right and above the top of the pole are given positive x and y values. The path of Tyler's plane is modeled by f of x equals to x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 6, and the path of Kim's plane is modeled by g of x equals to x squared minus x minus 6. Determine when f of x is greater than g of x. Now, since we have the same reference point for the measurements, question really is, when is this equation greater than that equation, the value, right? So we can begin by writing f of x, which is x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 6 is greater than g of x, which is x squared minus x minus 6. You get the point. Bring them together, solve the inequality, correct? So we have x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 6 minus x squared plus x plus 6 should be greater than 0. Combine the like terms, we get x cubed, 4x squared minus x squared is plus 3x squared, x plus x is 2x, and 6 minus 6 is 0 is greater than 0. We can factor x from here, so we get x squared plus 3x plus 2 greater than 0, and this can be factored. 2 product sum is 3, so 2 and 1, so we get x times x plus 2 times x plus 1 is greater than 0. At this stage we can use one of the two methods which we have learned. One is the interval method, right? The other is the graphing method. Since I have already used graphing method once, let me show you the interval method this time. So we have 3 zeros. Do you see that? Equating each to 0 gives us a 0. So this is 0 at 0, this is 0 at minus 2, this is 0 at minus 1. So these are our 3 zeros. Now what we will do is that we will find the interval when it is greater than 0. So when we have 3 zeros, then our plane will be divided into 4 different parts, correct? So this is my first, second, and then let us say this is my third zero, right? So let me write my zeros first. So I'll write zeros. My zeros are at minus 2, then at minus 1, and 1 at 0. Now when we have these zeros, then what interval are we looking into? The first interval is from minus infinity to minus 2, then we have from minus 2 to minus 1, minus 1 to 0, and from 0 to infinity. Now it's a good idea to take test point in each interval. So let us take test points in each interval. So between minus infinity to minus 2, test point could be minus 3. Here we could take minus 1.5. In this case, 0.5 is a negative sign, and 1 is a good test point. Now we are trying to test that product of these 3 factors should be positives. The factors are, let me write them in an order. So we'll write the one with 2, 0 first, which is x plus 2 is my first factor. Then we have x plus 1, and then we have a factor of x, correct? So let me just draw some lines here so that it doesn't mix up, right? Okay. Now, if I substitute minus 3 here, I do get a negative. Minus 1.5 gives me positive. We are not interested in the values. We are interested in sign. Minus 0.5 gives us positive. 1 will give us positive. In this factor, minus 3 will give negative. That will give negative. These two will give me positive results. And for x, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative. That is positive. Now truly the function is x times x plus 2 times x plus 1. That means product of these three, right? Product of these three is the function. So let's write that as f of x. So when you multiply, you get f of x. Now let us see, if I multiply 3 negatives, what do I get? If I multiply 3 negatives, I get 1 negative. If I multiply 2 negatives, I get a positive. 1 negative, negative, all positives when multiplied will give me positive. We are looking for greater than. That means we are looking for positive values, correct? So these are the intervals which are giving us positive values. Do you get the point? And therefore now we can write down our solution. So let me push the page a bit, right? So from here we can say our solution is f of x is greater than g of x within these intervals, that is from -2 to -1 union from 0 to infinity. So that is the solution, and this is called the interval method. I hope you appreciate how we have done it. So try to do it in a neat way as we have done here to get good marks in your test. Thank you and all the best.